Growing up, one of the things that will be constantly now be careful with your decisions. One of the things will be constantly now mind the decisions you make. One of the things that will be constantly now, hey, learn how to make this or that decision. One of the things that will be constantly now. The conversation was always about decisions, decisions, decisions. I don't know about you, but for me, I know very well. See, in as much as they kept reminding us, kept pushing the fact that the decisions we make were important, I don't really think someone ever sat us down to tell us how to go about making decisions, what to consider when we want to make decisions, what to look into when we want to make decisions, how to make decisions, how to even distinguish between different decisions, how to. I don't think anyone ever sat us down to even say, hey, yeah, there's this kind of decision, there's that kind of decision, there's this one, there's that one. But yeah, they will tell you every time, be careful, be careful, be careful, be careful, be careful, be careful. Growing up, I learned a lot. I got to learn the hard way, and I got to learn just like every other person learn about sex for community. Who probably learn from some person, who probably learn watching people, who probably learn hearing grandfather and discuss and all people then talk and you or see people then go through the experiences and then we just learn from. But like I said, it was never a conversation for me. I don't know about you, but for me it was never. I don't remember any day someone sat me down. I was actually explaining to me what a decision is, the different kinds of decisions that are possible or that are out there, the different things I should consider before I ever decide to make a decision on anything. I never had that conversation. However, I don't grow. And then I realize, or while I did grow, I realized, okay, wait to be decision. Decision is actually, we can say a conclusion or we can say a resolution that you arrive at after a consideration. So decision are that result where you will get to after you consider certain thing, after you consider certain things, or after you consider now, no matter how fast your consideration was, or no matter how fast you jump into that conclusion, at the end of the day, something will happen. It will trigger you, and then you get to make a decision, and then you go make a decision. Technically, what this means is before you make a decision, some situation must don't happen. We go prompt you for make a decision. We go put you for position where you get for make a decision. Wetin this means now say before you get to that place where you get for ponder, you get for think, you get for reflect, you get for this, you get for okay, tumbo boss karaba. Something more don't present itself in front of you. Some situation more don't present itself in front of you. And then you then have for middle, you have to make a decision. Which means every time you're supposed to make a decision, it's going to be at least between two things. Every time you're going to make a decision, it will be between two things. Every time you make a decision between just one thing, I don't think that was a decision. That was already a choice. You understand? Every time you consider you're supposed to make a decision, it means two options a day. Two options a day. Either you go this way or you go that way. Either you choose this or you choose that. Either you do this or you do that. Either. Every time the whole idea of I need to make a decision comes up, it means say small different options a day on the table. That is how important decision making is. Remember, like I said, it starts from somewhere. It starts from a situation. It starts from something happening. It starts from a situation presenting you options. And then at the end of the day, you are supposed to choose. You're supposed to decide. You are supposed to conclude. You are supposed to consider from the options that are in front of you. The segment at To Read It Today. To Read It Today, it's actually that segment where I just decide to talk about things from my past, things from my experiences, things I see every now and then, things that we probably don't learn, things that we I wonder about. I'll bring up here more discuss them. Yeah, we just get here and I just share my opinion under 30 minutes of how I feel, which I think, and then people will contribute if they want, especially for comment section. Yeah, the topic today na decision. And if now look the title of the live, it says decision, and then I said emotional and logical. But before we even get to emotional and logical decisions, we'd already established the fact, say, before you get to that place where you are supposed to decide, something must not trigger some situation. Something must not happen. Something must not happen for your life or for your environment, or it no matter, but something must not happen where two options they be placed in front of you. If it be placed in front of you, if it happen inside your head, if it happen even inside your dream, if it happen any side. But every time you are supposed to make a decision, it's because you are actually pondering, you're thinking about two things. Now, one thing is certain: every decision we make is going to end up either good or bad. Every decision we make is either going to end up good or bad. And the funny thing is, you can even make a decision today and you feel like it's a good decision. But in 10, 20, 30, 40 years, that decision will turn out horrible. You can make a decision today and you feel like it was a bad decision. And then in 10, 20, 30, 40, 50 years, that bad decision you feel so you make, it will turn out something you'll be like, oh, thank God that was actually what I decided. And if you make some decision today in a bad decision and it will ruin your life for the rest of for your days on earth. As well as you can make a decision today that is a good decision and it will continue bring you blessings until you die. A good reason why decision making is key. Decision making is key. It means that besides every other thing, any person where you don't develop that skill of decision making, where you don't develop a decision making skill for the level where it must be at 95% rate. Every decision we make, it did 95%, it get a 95% correct. That person definitely is going to be successful. That person definitely is going to stay away from a lot of problems. Because like I was saying, decision making is key in everything that we do. We don't see situation where papa and mommy they join born picking. All them two they regret and so they die. We don't see situation where papa and mommy they join. They born picking, make born house, make all kind of thing. That same picking they born and now last crack them. Now last give them high blood. Now last sweet waiting. We don't see situation where two people then decide, they make some decision, say, hey, they based on this. But then that decision turn out so bad. Wait for the rest of their life, it affect them. We don't see situations two way. Two people should not make decision. Three people, one person should not make decision. And that decision turn out to be the best thing we ever do for their life. We don't see situation where people they should not make decision. So person even hell you make decision. And that decision turn out to be the best thing will ever happen for your life. We don't see situation then two ways. Some person hell person make decision and that decision bring a problem between the two. Oh, now you touch them talk so. Oh, now you touch them do so. And then it turn being a chaos. In every decision we are going to make, we are always faced with two options. One will be bad, one will be good. Now, sometimes the bad option not the really bad the way we would think. You understand? The bad option is really bad than a bad option on a bad decision. And sometimes the good one may really be the good way, good than a good decision. At the end of the day, when it comes to decision making, you are left with just two results that you're going to get. Either you get a bad result or you get a good result. And bad or good result no mean say that particular time because it's a bad result. It will be bad result for the rest. If it be bad result today, but in the long run, it become a good result. If it be good result today, in the long run, it become a bad result. That is the reason why it is very, very important to actually put your mind to it before you make every decision. Because what might look like a good decision today, what might look like, oh, no, decide now so because this is good, or you want just job, or you want just might turn out to be something very bad in the future. I'll give you an example of something that always looks like it's good decision, but then in the long run, most people don't notice it about decision. Drinking of alcohol, especially exaggerating the intake of alcohol. That way you decide you want drink. That you for you, that's a good decision. Oh, I want to enjoy myself. Oh, I want your jolly. Oh, I want your. But most of the times, in the long run, it turns out to be a bad decision. Because you yes, oh, the one don't happen. Oh, that one don't happen. Oh, the man if you oh. It goes to for relationship, it goes for work, it goes for so many things. If you look at life keenly, almost every second of our life is about decision. That's how important decisions are. That's how important decision making is. Every second of our life, we are bound with choices. We are bound to make decisions. Brings us to how then do we go about making the best decision, even if it not go be 100% best, even if our ratio no go be, even if our rate no go be 95-90% at least. How then can we go ahead to make to again at least a 60% rate when it comes to making good decisions? This brings us to what probably we call emotional illogical decisions. Another very complicated part, because every decision you make is going to be based on two things. Most of the times, I don't know if there's a third thing or a fourth thing. If there's any, let me know. But most of the decisions you're going to make will be based on two things. One, when your emotions, and two, your logical mindset, or your logical thinking, or your rational thinking. Two places away most of our decisions come from, either our emotions or our logic. Now, most of the times, when they talk about emotions, they're talking about the heart. Most of the times, when they're talking about logic, they're talking about the brain. Correct me if I'm wrong. Most of the times, when you see some person make emotional decision, it comes from their heart mostly. Oh, then the decision is being made. Most of the times, when people make logical decision, it's coming from their brain. 1 + 1 are 2. That's why you bring the telly. But for heart, 1 + 1 are 1. I don't know if that makes sense. For brain, 1 + 1 are 2. For heart, 1 + 1 are 1. So every decision we are going to make is going to come, the resolution or the conclusion is going to come from two places, either from your emotions or from your logical thinking. Like I said, another very, very complicated situation. Because how do you even manage between making decisions out of your emotion and manage making decisions out of your logic? I'll give you an example. You be boss or someplace, you be CEO. Your sister can't find work for day. Your sister, he get good results, get the certification, he get the requirement, the way you warranty for get the job. But there's another person who has the same qualifications, but is a little bit better. We'll just say one notch up. We'll just say 2 points better than your sister. You want to give that job for your sister or for that person. You want to give that job for your sister where you know you grow with you know your character, you know everything and everything about you know how if you deliver. Or you want to give that job for person where by their presentation, by the way they answer the questions of interview, by the way they present their things and everything, they do one better than your sister. That is how complicated making decision is. And like I said, every step of the way, every step of the day, every second of the day, we are supposed to be making decisions. Sometimes you're supposed to be quick and fast with the decisions you're going to make. Now, sorry, man, I not even check volume today. Yeah. Every step of the way. Okay. The word of the okay. So sometimes you're supposed to be quick and very, very fast with the decisions you're going to make. You're supposed to make. Sometimes you have ample time to think, to ponder, to sleep over it, to this, that. But at the end of the day, every decision you're going to make, you will get one of two results, either a good result or a bad result. And the bad result or good result will either be short term or long term. Would they on the fact say every decision we make comes from two places, emotional and logical. Now, wait to be emotional decision. Like I already talked, emotional decision and mostly that decisions they come from your heart. It comes from your feelings. It comes from where I know the man. It comes from where I like the man. It comes from where now my people in this. It come from that place where your brain they stop for think and your heart they speak. Where the man mean the man don't work for long, where the man na my oldest employee, where the man na my where the person na my girlfriend, where the person na my husband, the person na my boyfriend, the person na my emotional decisions. Most of the times that is where they come from. Your relationship with people, your dealings with people, that's where most emotional decisions they come from. Logical decisions, most of the times it comes from the brain. And when I know the way the brain they work now, 1 + 1 is 2. 2 + 2 is 4. This is, so with logical decisions, you put the facts on the table, you ponder over them, you think over them, you consider them, and then you make a decision based on the results with the facts they give you. But with emotional decisions, it goes with your heart, your feelings. Well, how I go feel if I no give the man chop? How I go feel if I no give the man the money? How I go feel if I know? Logical decision now. If I give the man money today, he will come again for me tomorrow. So instead for me for give money, better man teach you how to work money. And if you try to teach that person how to work money, he deny. That is it. You don't even bother. You move on with your life knowing fully well that I wanted to help them, but did not want to help them help themselves. I decided to talk about this topic today because now one of the things that we don't struggle with a lot. One of the things that I don't struggle with for a very long time, making decisions, making the right decisions, making the best decisions. I grew up very, very emotional. I grew up someone who care not only for myself, not only for my friends and family, but even for strangers. Especially because so many strangers have helped me along the way. I grew up with so many strangers. So I grew up thinking everything I began to do for my life, I'll be supposed to consider persons and first. I began to consider my relationship with people. I get for those are the things I'm supposed to pay attention to before even thinking logically. So if you get someone free way, he will come to this, oh, that money you be giving for start business, I don't lose some. I will still give some money. He will come say, oh, that money you be giving my start business, I will borrow some money, no give me back. I will still give some money, me go start business. He will come again after say, oh, that money we did that, I don't know. I will still give someone. He will come back again say, oh, that money we I will still give someone. I be act up on my emotions. My logic could tell me, say, maybe that person they lie. My logic would tell me, say, maybe that person is irresponsible and he will ever be responsible. So I just waste my time. My logic would tell me, say, hey, that is wrong. What if you begin for the help other persons? You understand? My logic would tell me, say, that person is being disrespectful. But like I said, every time you act on your emotions, you go only one gam, you go only one gam, you go only one gam. Especially because the society way we day in. Don't teach we say any person way make logical decisions now wicked man. If you notice and very well, if you go for workplace, every decision about 98, 99% of decision for workplace be logical. Comes from the brain, comes from 1 + 1 is 2, comes from rules, comes from this and that, and principles, and that's it. Now, so if you do so, you'll get the job. If you do so, you'll keep the job. If you do so, this is what will pay you. If you do so, it is left on you to follow the logic, to follow the principles, to follow the laws in place, and you get what you want. That is how logic works, and making decisions based on logic and getting results based on logic. That is how it works. But every time you decide to go with emotions. Person go can't late for workplace. You tolerate it. I forgive you. He go come again late. I forgive you. You go set up something with somebody. You know, go respect them. You know, go respect you. Know, say anything, but then you be like, no, na the work of the devil. Now another thing that every time you start feel like it's the work of the devil, know you're using your emotions and know your logic. Where forgive me is the work of the devil. Where forgiving is the work of the devil. Every time you start thinking that way, every time you start making decisions based on things like you're using your emotions. Now, I'm not here. I don't sit here to say every decision that is coming from emotion is bad. I'm not sitting here to say every decision that is logical is 100% good. That's the reason why making decisions is difficult. There are times you can use your logic, you can go by the principles, you can go by the laws, you can go by the rules, and you make a 100% logical decision and it turns out bad. But however, now maybe 1 out of 200 times, in 95%, logical decisions always turned out the best. Logical decisions are always considered on a level field, on a level ground, on a plain ground, on a plain field. Emotional decisions are always, most of the times, considered from a place of, okay, ma tolerate, ma sorry, ma leave, ma. Like I said, I'm not here to say every emotional decision is bad. I am just here to say we have to really consider, we really have to understand decisions, understand there are good and bad decisions, understand every decision we make is coming from a place of emotional or logical, and then understand when to make logical decisions and when to make emotional decisions. Maybe now go hele we put we for that space, that spectrum way. Maybe our decision making will move from like 60% to 80% correct. Because for you to be successful in life, you get to get at least 70 to 80% decision making, good decision making skills. More put it that way. Now, after you don't make a decision, whether it comes from emotions or from logic, you will have to deal with the consequences of the decision, whether it's good or it's bad. Another reason why decision making is vital. Another reason why decision making is pivotal. Another reason why decision making is so important. After you don't make a decision, whether it comes from an emotional place or from a logical place, you will have to deal with the consequences for the rest of your life. First, we have to accept that, and then we have to start thinking about how to manage these consequences. If the decision is a good one, how do you manage the consequences? Because sometimes you can actually make a good decision and then you manage the decisions, the good decisions poorly, it turns out to become a bad decision. I'll give you an example. Some person decides he want to go play lottery. He had the option to either play the lottery or not play the lottery. The good decision, I say, he decides he want to play the lottery and he win that lottery. 100 billion. No, 100 million US dollars. 100 million US dollars. Win that money, 100 million US dollars. This was somebody that was calm, that was collected, that was organized, that was just so contented with everything that they had, the living that they had. They were living their life happily, healthy, and everything. Now they get 100 million to their bank account where they need to be planned for. They need to be ever know if you ever come at anything. They turn and start going to nightclubs, start drinking, start driving carelessly, and blah, blah, blah. Before you know it, after 2 weeks, 3 weeks, 1 month, wait, that money don't finish. They go into depression because they start do drugs. They start do things, them crazy stuff. Before I want to know 3, 4, 5, 6 months, this person they either there for streets, homeless, or this person they don't go 6 feet deep. We all know the saying. Say most of the times, lottery winners them they need to live for more than 1 year. Most people, they even thought say lottery money be cursed. Not be true. Not be true. The problem we didn't, I say most of the people that did win lottery money, they were not ready for it. Now, probably people they wait their whole life, they don't manage their 50,000 every year, 50,000 every year, 50,000 every year. I'm talking about America. And then all of a sudden, boom, they drop 100 million inside your account. If you're not careful enough, you can go crazy. A good reason why I was saying decision making, you can actually make a good decision. And then because you manage that good decision poorly, in the long run, it will become a bad decision. In as much as you can make a bad decision today, and then you manage them so well, and then in the long run, it becomes a good decision. Reason why we're at the toxic, after you don't make your decision, whether emotionally or logically, the next thing we have to have at the back of our mind is how to manage the consequences, how to manage the results of our decisions. Whether the result turned out good, whether it turned out bad, how you go manage them will determine the rest of your life on earth. If you manage a bad decision very well, it can become a good decision. It will probably not hurt you. It will only probably build you to a better person because you must have learned some lessons from the bad decision you made. If you manage a good decision poorly, it's going to destroy you. It is going to hurt you so bad you will not even understand. It is going to burn you to the ground. So life is not just about making decisions, good or bad decisions, whether they are coming from your emotions or logic. Life is more importantly about managing the everyday decisions you make, especially the consequences of the decisions you've made already. A good reason why they say if you hurt somebody, if you realize you'll be lie for some person, if you realize you'll be do some person until you know fine, look for a pretty good way to go apologize to them. Look for a very nice way to make peace with them. Instead for you for just continue, she don't you, after all, you know, say I be sorry, after all, it don't pass. No, look for a very nice way to amend the situation. That is you actually fixing a bad decision. If you be make a good decision for marry this woman, because they were beautiful, they were hardworking, they were all of these things. And then you bring another house, you start to abuse them, disrespect them, and all of that things, those things. That is you actually ruining a good decision you make. And be very careful because it might hurt you for the rest of your life. Managing decisions, managing the consequences of decisions, managing the results from our decision, I think is the most important. In as much as we have to be very, very careful when we want to make decisions, in as much as we have to consider that there is good and bad decisions before we make decisions, in as much as we have to remember that this decision I want to make might be emotional or should it be logical. I think overall, after we finally make a decision and there is a consequences, there is a result, managing that decision or managing the consequences of every decision we make should be very, very important. Now, if I go into how to manage the consequences of our decisions, manage the results of our decisions, manage whether they are good or bad, this life will go into 35, 40, 50, 1 hour. I think we'll talk about that some other day. If you not take anything from this conversation, remember, decisions are just basically the conclusion or the resolution you get to after you don't consider a situation. It means that before the situation, before you want actually start thinking about a decision, something triggered you. Something triggered a situation. Something triggered whatever. And you were faced with two options. You were faced with either go with this or go with this. And you had to make a decision. Remember also that decisions can be good and can be bad. So before you decide, think about if the decision you're about to make is a good one or can be a bad one. Also remember, say every decision you make is coming from two places. It's either going to be emotional, it's going to be logical. Most of the times, emotional decisions come from the heart. Every logical decision comes from the brain, comes from you actually putting facts on the table and adding up things and adding up and subtracting and saying, okay, this is the end result. Now, like I said earlier, I will not sit here to say every emotional decision is bad or every logical decision is good. At the end of the day, we must find a way to develop our skills to have that almost perfect judgment. So when it's time for us to use our emotions, we use them correctly. If it's time for us to use our logic, we use them perfectly. However, after we don't go through all of this and we decide whether we use the emotions or our logic or we'll mix them, we still get to manage the consequences of every decision we make, whether they are good or bad. Like I said, a good decision today, if you manage them poorly, becomes a bad decision. A bad decision today, you manage them so well, it becomes a good decision. Let me give you guys an example of a bad decision that can be was managed so well and it became a good decision. Some certain person we talk about, oh, they are eating our dogs, they are eating our cats, they are eating our diddies. So many people took it, made jokes out of it, made it fun, made it. For them, it seems like a bad decision. I should say, at one point, that was like, oh, who be even tell me I talk that kind of thing? But they did what we call damage control. They put up things and then reverse the train and got to that place where everyone was like, you know what? Forget about the bad decision he made. Forget about the things he said. Forget about. So you can make a bad decision today, and that bad is the decision we make them. Because of the way you handle them, it actually build a wonderful relationship between you and the person. I'll give you an example. Let's say you insult some person. For instance, like me, Tower they play football. Because of the adrenaline, because of that nyak, because of you feel you play some man bad game, you kick, and as you kick, before you even fall, you wake up, you go meet up, hey, Ashia, you hold your foot, you call it free, hey, you put water, you do something. You manage, and when it comes from your heart, the person if he tells you are sorry about the action. The bad decision was you playing rough on them. Now you manage the decision in the best way by trying to fix the problem, by trying to amend the problem, by trying to help the person ease their pain. That is you managing the decision. So a bad decision at first, but then you manage them correctly. Now you and that person become friends because the person start feeling like, oh, this man a good man. He kicked me. He not even coach me. He can't me. Oh, this man a good man. Even though he jam my motor, see the way we manage jam, see the way we treat me, see the way he respect me. Oh, this man, you see him. So bad decision today, if you manage and fine, if it turn out to be the best way you ever do himself. If you manage and find, if you actually get something really pretty good from the bad decision. The same way with good decisions today, if you manage them poorly, it will become crazy. The good reason why you see people get married today and then the next day they are divorced. I don't know what I tell them, one married, they be making a good or a bad decision, but something somewhere is telling me that they did not manage the decision they made the best way possible. If I want to give examples of decisions where misses I don't make of my life when are good on a bad way we start and they end up good, on a way we start up good, it end up bad, man, the list long. Like I said, we don't want to drag this video. The segment was Toridey Today. A segment where we get together and we just talk. I just talk about something we go through my mind during the day, about something we come from my mind when I be deciding I want to go live, about something we it come from my past, about something I don't just observe with community. See, the conversation today was about decisions. Decisions, because that is one of the most important things for every individual in life. That is the one thing every second of the day we are supposed to be making decisions. Every second of our life, we are supposed to be making decisions. Should I sit here Should I stand? Should I use a microphone? Should I not use it? Should I put the light closer? Should I not? Should I make a dramatic scene for the show today? Should I not? Should I everything? Should I wear this? Should I not? Should I comb my hair? Should I? Every second of the day we are making decisions. And these decisions will either be good or bad. Good or bad, it would depend whether it's coming from an emotional place or a logical place. There'll be all emotional decisions and are bad decisions. There'll be all logical decisions and are good decisions. But at least for understand, say some decisions are be emotional and so one they be logical and are just a smart thing to do. That way you know when to use your logic and you know when to use your emotions. Now, after you don't make these decisions, manage them. A good decision where you manage them poorly will end up being a bad decision. A bad decision where you manage them very well will end up being a good decision. That was it for Toridey tonight. Toridey today. See you on tomorrow. Like I said, I be wanna encourage me. Oh, I don't go pick some challenge way hard. I want to do one video, one live session every day, the whole year. Except on days when I did the live before, then I feel decide for not do this. But the goal I for do one live session every day and for keep on less than 30 minutes already there for 36 minutes. Thank you very, very much. Now the small to read that will be get them for today. Let me know what you think. Let me know what you think. If you are just joining, please go ahead and watch the video again and let me know what you think for comment section. If you watch it after the live, let us know what you think for comment section. Or if you want, write me. If you any topic there you feel so you think you want my address, let me know and I'll take my time and do just that. Thank you now.